Alright, welcome back to the Ales and Fails Twitch stream. Happy Friday night. I'm your host, Ale Wolf. And maybe let me reduce the lighting on that just a bit. Hey, that's a little bit better. Not that much better, but I think it'll have to do. As I was saying, happy Friday night to you all. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully it's the end of your week. Hopefully you've got a couple weekend plans, something relaxing to do. Hopefully your work week, if applicable, was successful. Tonight we are doing something completely different. We're starting something new. Longtime fans of the stream will remember that for my retro block, which happens on Friday evenings, I've been playing Banjo-Kazooie and Super Metroid. Well, last time I was playing Banjo-Kazooie, I finished it. If you'd like to see how that effort went, please tune into my VODs. So today is time to start something new. And I guess I cheated a little bit because I wanted to include a game that is retro, but was actually re-released relatively not too long ago. And that is Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition. Specifically, my goal is going to be to play Radical Dreamers. And I'm thinking at first I'll try to go through the game and try to make it to the end. People that have played the Chrono series will remember that they have multiple endings, and so after I achieve the first ending, I'll probably try and find a guide to guide me to get the rest of the endings. And it'll be a fun way to go through the game, I think. At least I'm hoping it'll be fun. I've also just been meaning to try to find a text adventure game to play, simply because they demand a little bit less of that Twitch. And as much as I love my action games during streaming, they can be a little wild. Since I do have to pay attention to a lot of things. Other things worth noting, this is not actually my first playthrough of Radical Dreamers. It is my first playthrough on the Switch, but as a lad I did play Radical Dreamers as a ROM, as a translated ROM. I remember not getting very far, but I did play through it. And it was an interesting game. It was a little bit, I think for my age, it was a little bit scary. I also wasn't used to too many text adventure games other than like horror PC games, so it kind of just gave me that flair. I'm sure now that I'm an adult, things might be a little bit different. And just as part of my context for how much I played this series, I played Chrono Trigger several times, beaten it. I've gotten all the endings, at least in the Nintendo DS remake, and that is the best way to play it. I played Chrono Cross a couple of times. I think at least twice, finished it at least twice, got the good ending. I don't think I ever had the energy to go and get all of the endings for that one, but I do remember having a lot of fun, and Chrono Cross is actually something that I do hope to go back to at some point. Okay, that's a lot of context. Before we get started, as usual, we're gonna go ahead and see what's on tap today. And tonight, we are doing the same thing as yesterday. We're actually starting with a gluten-free serving. This one is from Divine Science Brewing. It is called Particle Haze. If you tuned into yesterday's stream where I was talking about where I was playing Travis Strikes Again, I explained that the reason why I have gluten-free beers on me is because I have family stay over. One of them, unfortunately, has celiac disease, and I did decide to check out some gluten-free varieties to see if I could share them with him. Of course, he's gone now, and so I've got quite a stock left of gluten-free beers. Not that I think that they are lesser, they are certainly a different taste. Gluten, of course, is found in products like barley and wheat, which are some of the primary ingredients in most beers, also rye. Gluten-free beers are generally made using rice, millet, and other cereals. This one specifically is made with millet, rice, buckwheat, lentils, hops, and yeast. So I guess the grains in this would be the millet, the rice, the buckwheat, and the lentils. I have had one thing from Divine Science before, their Pilsner, and I think I may have had it on stream. I really disliked it. So here's hoping that this one is a little bit better. Let's see what Untapped has to say on the matter. Let's pull that up. And let's see, Particle Haze. Okay, and so the description is gluten-free. There you go. I guess we're just going to go with that. Gluten-free beer. Let's go back to my regular scene. And let's go ahead and pour this bad gal. And there is a description in the back. Certain physicists discovered the Higgs boson field by smashing subatomic particles into each other, observing their short-lived interactions caused by these collisions. We discovered particle haze by smashing hops and malt together. A triple dry hop for maximum haze and aroma through intense hop and malt collisions. Always keep cold and drink fresh. I like the opening with the Higgs boson field and certain physicists, I guess. You could have made this opening for a lot of other food stuff. Yeah, but let's go ahead and open this. And pouring, and as I can see already, it is a hazy beer, so at least it's keeping to the title of hazy IPA. Generally, hazy IPAs are characterized by tropical notes, hazy body because of the fact that they are not filtered following fermentation, and generally the hops that they have are not necessarily bittering notes, but rather more floral and aromatic. So here we go. It's got a slight tinge of reddish to it, but largely yellow. Can't really see through it. Let's see on the nose. A little scent of ferment there, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Deep ferment. Some tropical notes, a little graininess, which I would assume may come from the rice itself. Fang and ale. Well, it certainly has the body of a hazy IPA, though maybe just a little bit lighter than most. Yeah, a little bit lighter. I would say like a light medium body. Whereas for a standard hazy, I expect at least a medium body. I don't think that, I think it's a fine flavor, except for the fact that it does have a steel-like character from the hops throughout, and it just stays with you. It's got slightly a lingering bitterness to it. which I don't necessarily expect from hazy IPAs. This is more like a West Coast variety. So it's almost like the taste of a West Coast IPA with a hazy IPA body. That's interesting, and maybe that's the smashing physics that they alluded to in the description. Okay. But yeah, that's that. We'll sip on that for a while. We're gonna go on break while I compose my untapped entry. And on the other side of the break, we will start on Radical Dreamers. See you there. Let's get our sound right. Oh, that's a bit loud. That this was the one song that they composed originally for the remake. And if you're just tuning in, we are playing Radical Dreamers, drinking a Particle Haze IPA. That's the screen. Alright. What settings are we in? Graphical style, classic, or screen type. Oh, we're not going across. I guess let's start with classic and see what that's like. Start the journey into Radical Dreamers. You know, I think I need to change this camera angle. by the time we meet next. I think it's certainly less intrusive than before, but we'll get back to it later. It all began with a notebook my mother handed me. She told me she found it while cleaning out the closet. This old notebook with mold was a diary that belonged to my grandfather, who passed away years ago. It contained his distant memories. I wonder if you still remember how we first met and our many adventures. It all seemed like a dream. We ran like the wind during those warm summer days long ago. You were a piece of a star that fell from the sky. I can still relive the memories of those days long past, just by closing my eyes like so, and whispering your name into the desolate night. Kid. Kid. This brings back memories. Kid. Hey, kid. Are you ready, kid? I know you're anxious, but stay on your toes. Yeah, likewise, mate. You mess up and I'm leaving you behind. Got that, Serge? Come on, Magil, let's go. That bastard Lynx is gonna get what he deserves. Say your prayers. Not that it'll do you any good. And so that's our three protagonists, Serge, Kid, and Magil. You don't need to tell me this if you're watching this, but Radical Dreamers came between Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross is actually more or less a remake of Radical Dreamers. And so the characters that are here are the ones that essentially inspired the characters in Chrono Cross, or at least were the predecessors. And yes, we've gone through this. Les Trésors Interdits. 1996. Radical Dreamers was originally released for the Japanese only. Information. Change selection, confirm, cancel, menu, auto text, adjust menu sound settings, return to launcher. Do I need to remember any of this? Maybe. Okay, well, I think it'll be fine. Please enter a name. Can I just go with Serge? The old lady's tip-off was right on the money. The counterspell on the barrier around the outer walls could done a real number on us. Kit's plan, unadorned braid flicked back and forth across her shoulders as she walked. We picked our way through the elaborate ladders of Manor's magic shields, moving in closer and closer to Lord Lynx's stronghold. There were three of us, Kid, Magil, and me. I guess it must have been 3 years already since I first met Kid. Back then, I was just wandering musician, traveling wherever my feet would take me, and wherever a few tunes would pay for a warm bed. It was in the Outlands, in a town called Regiora, where we first ran across one another. And since then, she dragged me along on a whole bunch of adventures, and misadventures too. Ah, Kid. She was a thief. And not just any thief, just a few months shy of 17 and already renowned as one of the realm's greatest. A thief after his own heart, I'm sure. What's more, she was achingly beautiful, of course, stylish, a joy to be around, and a damn hand at campsite cooking, or so she liked to claim. The truth was a little different. Those bandits with hearts of gold you heard about in stories, the ones who steal from the rich to give to the poor, yeah, that wasn't kid style. She was short-tempered, prone to lying, bossy, and obsessed with money, and rarely did she care to listen to a single word anyone said to her. But she wasn't all bad. Probably. Maybe. Sometimes. She had her moments anyways. I glanced over my shoulder to see a shadow hovering behind us, blending into the darkness like smoke. Magill. Also known as Magill the Shade, he was Kit's partner, but even after 3 years, I still knew hardly anything about him. All I knew that he was around 30 years old and not much of a talker, but he was one heck of a mage. And I think I'm going to go full spoilers on this. I've read transcripts for the story of Radical Dreamers. I'm going to assume that everyone here knows the story of Chrono Trigger as well as Chrono Cross. Magill is actually supposed to be Magus from the original Chrono Trigger. I heard that he and Kit had started working together way before I met her. He always covered the top half of his face with a mask, and I'd never seen what he looked like underneath. He was a man so mysterious that it sometimes seemed like he was an interloper from another world. It wasn't like Kid it was exactly big on details about her past, but Magill, he might as well not have had one. And Kid didn't seem to know much about her partner in crime either. What kind of man he was, what kind of life he'd lived before? Nothing. You might ask how exactly I wound up being part of this merry band. Well, it's complicated. I guess you could say that life doesn't always turn out the way you think it will. Kid, who was heading up our little raiding party, suddenly stopped dead. Look lively, boys. We got company. So, if it's not obvious to everyone watching, this is a still image of Kid, Serge, and Magill behind that long bluish silver hair. Again, very much reminiscent of Magus from Chrono Trigger. We glanced around warily as could, as cold, cruel eyes emerged from the darkness. Dark shadows prowled the night surrounding us. A pack of wildcats. There must have been about 10 of them. A thrill of fear ran down my spine. Flustered, I pulled my knife from my belt. Kid calmly shifted into a fighting stance. Watch yourselves. I don't reckon these buggers been treated for rabies. The wildcats snarled and growled as they slowly closed in on us, drawing the noose tighter and tighter. Their eyes glinted in the darkness like fireflies, and strings of eager spittle dripped wetly to the ground. Then one of them sent an almighty roar soaring to the moon, and the hunt was on. And this is a battle scene. You'll have to excuse me, I need to take breaks on this. Obviously... okay, I guess I needed to react faster than that. I think Fast kicked that into the thick of the pipe and gave the largest of their number an almighty kick in their chops. So, as I was saying, hopefully as long as I don't have to input, the screen just stops there. It's a lot of reading, so I'm going to have to take a few breaks every once in a while. I'm also just a little bit sick, so here's hoping that I don't fly into a coughing fit. The startled beast gave a yelp as it was sent flying. I turned to my right to see that nearby wildcat was charging towards me, its head lowered menacingly. Panicked, I tried to make a last-second dodge, but I was quite fast enough its claws scraped against my side as it rushed past me. flashed at a nearby wildcat with my knife. The beast tried to leap clear, but I was already too close. Nice. Felt the blade make contact, and I was rewarded with a screech of pain. The wildcat jumped away this time, managing to put some space between us. It looked like I hadn't cut it very deeply. I stood my ground, changing my grip on the knife, waiting for another chance to attack. Surge, behind you! Panicked by Kid's warning, I rolled wildly and came face to face with a pair of eyes blazing like hellfire. There wasn't time to do anything but try to protect myself. In a moment of sheer desperation, I crossed my arms to guard my face. Instantly, I felt the wildcat's fangs sink to my expel trace. That wasn't a good choice. Wow. That's a lot of beating. These goggles were fun yesterday, but I guess I judged too quickly. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay. It had thrown itself bodily at me, bowling me over backwards. My arm still in its powerful jaws. The wildcat pinned me to the ground and shook its head. This fight is not going well. I tried desperately to free myself, but it was clamped onto me like a bear trap. There was no way to get loose. The sound of bang on bone was sickening. Okay, am I dead already? But just then the creature recoiled with a screech. Kid had buried her knife deep into its gut. She quickly capitalized on its terror by giving it an almighty kick. Free of the wildcat, I staggered to my feet, holding the throbbing wound to my arm. I was breathing heavily. I had my knife was slick with sweat as I tightened my grip. With a kick like a bolt of lightning, it landed at me head on the flank of the nearby wildcat. It staggered before losing its footing, letting out a pathetic cry. The kid had already moved in to finish it off. And then the roar of fire, burning smell filled my nostrils. Next to me, a shrill screech pierced the air. That's a fire spell. Magel's fire spell engulfed the head of a nearby wildcat. It fled darting off into the darkness like an arrow. One thing that I forgot to mention is just the fact that they were playing the battle theme right there, which is actually very similar to the Chrono Cross battle theme, if you're familiar with it. It's got a slightly different tempo to it, a slightly more upbeat jig, I think. I think they were trying to make it more fun, whereas Chrono Cross's is a little more regal, like a proper battle, I think. I don't know if I'm explaining myself properly here. But why would one in my state actually be able to explain it themselves properly? I scanned the area. Only moments ago we had been surrounded, but now there wasn't a single wildcat left. Kid and Magel had either sent the rest off with their tails between their legs or put paid to them once and for all. You know, what I might do to give myself a little bit of a break is maybe not read during battle scenes, unless it's particularly interesting. Just because I feel like I have to think and read at the same time, which I should be doing anyways, but you know what I mean. Kid and Magel had either sent the rest off with their tails between their legs or put paid to them once and for all. Ha! You're dreaming if you think a pack of flea-bitten moggies is gonna stop us, Lynx. Kid crossed her arms and flashed a triumphant grin. Meanwhile, I was panting heavily, and it felt like my legs were about to give out from under me. I collapsed to my knees, overwhelmed by what I had just been through. Serge, you barely did a thing. Whew, I'd taken a few hits, but I was fine otherwise. A couple of scars to talk about later, maybe, but nothing that would stop me carrying on. You were about to die. you hurt? Nagel looked down at me, his face expressionless as ever. Nagel here being the piccolo, of course. No worries, Mag. He'll be alright, said Kid, barging in to get a better look at me. He may be a whining sook, but it'll take more than a few scratches to kill this one. She was nothing if not sympathetic. But she was right, this was no time to be bemoaning my lot. We hadn't even reached the manor yet, and that's it in the distance. I dabbed at my wounds with a tincture-soaked cloth and wrapped them up with bandages, then looked up at the other two. I think we should go on. We're just getting started. I grinned back, putting a brave face on things. That's what I like to hear, Kid cheerily announced from close quarters. But then her eyes turned cold, like the cool glow of the moon in the night sky. It's gonna be a long night. I nodded, trying my hardest not to utterly lose myself in her pale blue eyes. Alright, let's get this show back on the road. She turned away and marched off deeper into the trees without looking behind to see if me and Nagel were following her. Nagel, of course, was already right behind her, his unhurried gait making it seem as though nothing much had happened at all. I jumped back up to my feet to chase after them. I'd be in for even more trouble than I'd bargained for if I got separated from them. Now, here we are once again. I have forgotten how much reading is involved in this game. Seriously. Well, at least I've got my particle haze with me. So that was a single battle. Can you imagine that? I think the flavor text does add quite a lot of intensity to what's happening, but really all you need was a pack of dogs, which would be something that you would fight obviously at the outset of any RPG. This certainly made it seem a little more fatal, dangerous. Okay. The dark forest inside the manor's perimeter seemed to go on forever, a labyrinth of trees and boulders. The manor itself loomed in the distance, glowering over the vast grounds, and hidden within was a veritable mountain of treasure, just waiting for us. Lord Lynx was a noble who ruled the remote territory of Regiora. He was also Kid's mortal enemy. And at least in Chrono Cross, he's a giant talking cat. We were there that night to steal a certain jewel he kept locked away in the most closely guarded vault, the Frozen Flame. The Frozen Flame was veiled in mystery. It was said to be imbued with an uncanny energy and possessed of a beauty and clarity that made it a priceless treasure. Countless thieves had tried to steal it, and not one of them had come close to succeeding. Nor had any of them escaped the manor alive. And now it was our turn to try to sneak into this place of death. I feel like I'm watching a movie here and pressing the A button. Might as well just be pressing play on a DVD menu. Led by a girl who had the ambition to make the impossible possible, a hunger for vengeance that drove her onward, and a desire for riches that could never be satisfied. As we pressed on through the tree-filled darkness, the shadows gave way at last, revealing the true extent of the vast mansion. Some motion. Reminds me of Magus's castle. Ha! Finally, say your prayer, Lynx, 'cause we're coming for ya. Keeping to the overgrowth and the shadows of the trees, we made our way around the manor walls in search of a means of entry. And here's where I take a quick break. I will be right back, folks. I'll actually leave the screen on here because it won't be that long. Okay, and we are back. Sorry about that, folks. I needed to both clear up my fog and take a small cough break. So we were saying, eventually we came to a terrace overlooking the garden. There was no sign of any guards nearby. The only thing surrounding the manor was uncanny stillness. This will lead us straight into the west wing. Just as well, we don't have any business in the rest of the manor tonight, said Magil, gazing up at the dark building towering over us in the night. Alright then, what are we waiting for? With that, Kid made to vault over the railing of the terrace. One thing I wish they did is at least suggest who's talking in the text. It would certainly help out with and there my cough decides to make an appearance. It would certainly help with trying to designate a voice to whoever. Alright, let's keep going. Stop! Magdal hissed sharply. Remember what we're here for. Our main target is the vault and the frozen flame within it. We focus on this above all else. Your vengeance is of secondary concern. Agreed. Glancing over her shoulder, Kid replied with a reluctant, yeah, don't get your knickers in a twist. But if we happen to run into him, I'm gonna knock that Drongo's block off, and neither you or anybody else is gonna stop me. I guess Kid was going to get her way whether we liked it or not. Let's go, boys. The night is young. She cleared the railing with a sprightly hop, and vanished inside the manor. Now, fans of the Chrono Trigger series will know that the reason why Kid wants to get is the enemy of Lynx is because Lynx killed her her guardian, and it's a very crucial point as to who that was. I glanced toward Magill and nodded in silence. We followed Kid's lead and were soon inside Lord Lynx's lair. The darkness swallowed us whole. A corridor stretched off to the left and right to the terrace. It seemed equally dark and chilly in both directions. When in doubt, go right. We pressed on through the darkness, down corridors, turned and twisted snake-like, this way and that. Everything around us was still and silent, and we felt strangely like we were being watched. We continued creeping cautiously down the corridors. Kid moved proudly and stealthily like a cat stalking its prey, while in the shadows Mac followed, gliding swiftly and silently like a sinister breeze. So this is what became Viper Manor in Chrono Cross. An ancient-looking door, again on our right. So, nobody behind the door. Gotta do this again. At this point, given my experience streaming, I'm going to say that there's probably more streams out there of me with a cold where I've been sick in some sort of way and just coughing like crazy. So this is part of the course in the Ales and Fails Twitch stream. We're gonna open the door, folks. See what's inside. In we go. Kid stilled her breath and reached for the handle. Door wasn't locked. Its phone goes slowly open. Oh man, this is that's a bit creepy. Now I am reminded why I felt slightly uncomfortable playing this as a youth. What's this room supposed to be? Place is a dump. Kid poked her head in through the door, taking a quick peek to see if there was anyone inside, and was disappointed by what she found. The room was large and littered with peculiar-looking machinery and knickknacks, all of which were covered in dust, had seemingly been dumped there haphazardly. Everything looked like it had been there, resting for a very long time. The ends of the room were completely dark, and it was impossible to tell just how big it was, or even what the walls and floor looked like. It seemed the manor's inhabitants had turned the old clock tower into a makeshift storage space some time ago. Well, you gotta have storage, right? I stepped warily inside. Now this reminds me of that clock tower game. Leave that alone. I looked over toward Magill and saw Kid trying to pull something from the shadows. It was a huge sword that appeared to be very old indeed. Could it be the Masamune? You don't need that old bludgeon. It'll only get in the way. And as much of an antique as it is, it won't fetch much on the market in that condition. I don't know who's talking. Yeah, reckon it might, you know. There's plenty of collectors who just love old bits of junk. Well, some old bits of junk. Pouting, Kid left the sword where she stood. At least she put it back down gently. It was then that we heard a voice from the shadows. What exactly are you doing here, I just jumped out of my skin. Somebody was in the shadows all along. The call is coming from inside the house, folks. Who's there? Kid and Maggie turned to face the voice, ready for a fight. Looks like a wraith of some sort. Definitely not the most reassuring of graphics of a figure there. It's got vampires around it. A wizened crone emerged from the shadows. She was hunched over and wore a hood draped over her face. You could tell at a glance that she wasn't just old, she was positively ancient. It's just some doddery old bag. What do you think you're doing, sneaking up on us like that? Kid's shoulders relaxed as the tension left her body. Maggie, however, continued to give the woman a piercing stare. Perhaps an acquaintance. Oh ho, what an impish little thing you are. Here to visit a friend, perhaps. Not in the dead of night, I suspect. The crow narrowed her eyes. Let's get a closer look at you. Ah, yes. You must be here to get your revenge on Lynx. How did she... My heart jumped. She seemed to know exactly who we were. We were in trouble. What if she sounded the alarm? How many alarm systems are there in a castle like this? We'd have to give up on the treasure and run for our lives. What were we going to do? Tell her that she was right. Pretend we did. Let's be honest here, folks. So what if we are? Kid narrowed her eyes right back at the crone. What's it to you if we're here to get our revenge on old Lynxy boy? You gonna do something about it? You never change, do you? The crone chuckled madly, her small frame shaking. Ah, the boldness of youth. Yes, that's the spirit. You what? Kid looked at the crone, completely confused. It was no less mystified. What the heck are you on about? Is this a fight? Oh, it must have been 4 or 5 years ago. Yes, it was around then that an innocent young thief stole into the manor, looking to cinch Lord Lynx's whiskers. I guess he's a cat here too. She couldn't have been much older than 10, now that I think of it. Shocked, my gaze turned to Kid. A wet glint had appeared in Kid's eyes, but her glare was like ice. It certainly felt as if the temperature in the room had suddenly dropped below freezing. With a chuckle, the crone continued her story, pretending not to have noticed the change in mood. She was an orphan, you know. Came after Lynx to avenge a woman who loved her like her own daughter. But all the vengefulness in the world couldn't change the fact that she was only a little girl. She was no match for Lynx's men, sadly, and they quickly captured her. Lynx is the kind of man one would fear to have for an ally, never mind a foe. Had it not been for the timely assistance of a friend of hers, the girl would have certainly been executed. The way the people of the manor told it, the very shadows pitied the girl and rushed in to spirit her away. I wonder how much of the tale could be true. I have nothing but sympathy for those who know failure, of course. You can't win all the time. And sometimes, against all the odds, fate really can be foiled, and the clockwork of history sent into disarray. No, the ones I have no patience for are those who do not recognize their failure, or who fail and choose to give up as a result. That's a particular subset of people. I still don't quite understand. I can't quite read this lady. Is she on our side or not? I don't actually know if I'm going to be able to. Go on like this. I should be a bit more selective with the things that I read. Go on a little text adventure, will you? It'll be easy on you on the stream. It'll be slow. Yeah, right. The crone looked up from under her hood, stared Kid directly in the face, and grinned. Kid's anger faded, giving way to a dumbfounded expression. If you will wish to steal the jewel from the links, if you truly wish to triumph, you will have to let go of a treasure of your own, Kid. For as long as you cling onto it, the hands of your clock will never move. They'll stay exactly where they came to rest all these years ago. Who are you? Oh, me? I'm just an old bag, like you said. I do apologize. I must have been taking up a lot of your time with all my babbling. I'll leave you in peace. Oh, but before I go, the crone turned to face me. Fight? You seem to be injured, young man. If you wish, I can take a look at your wounds. With all the attention suddenly turned to me, I panicked a little. Yeah, actually, please heal me. What, alright then, please do. Crone muttered a few words and her pointy fingers drew sigils in the air. Ah, cure spell. A gentle light began to surround my body, filling me with a strange warmth. Strike a light. That's no ordinary spell. It was impressed. I felt my wounds healing. I heard a nostalgic melody that soothed the wounds in my heart. Before I realized it, the crone was gone. Hey lady! Kid strained her eyes, scanning the darkness. But there was no one to be seen, and her calls went unanswered. Who the bloody heck was that? It looked like she'd just woken up on the floor of Laughing Pig after a few too many. And what did she mean about you having to let go of a treasure? Well, we won't find any answers here. Time to move on. Maggle brought us back down to Earth, emotionless as always. See, I wish I would have known that was Maggle. It almost seemed as if he thought nothing had happened at all. Yeah, I guess you're right. Kid walked quickly to the door, keen to move on. Hold it, you! Just as I was about to follow Kid out the room, she jabbed me on the side with her elbow. You stingy little bugger, Serge. Why didn't you tell her to share some of that healing magic with the rest of us? Classic Kid. Classic indeed. Okay, the door led back into the corridor, which stretched off to the left and right. So I honestly thought that was kind of a creepy encounter. I didn't know what to expect from just encountering a shadowy figure, but like I said, this game does have a tendency to just put you in a mood. Not for the faint of heart, as they say. This coming from somebody that can't play any of the Resident Evils. So we're back in the corridor. Rightward lay the depths of the manor, while the way to our left led back to the terrace. So the terrace is where we entered. I guess we continue going right. Continuing on down the corridor, we came across a rather sturdy looking door on our left. A little further on stood a stairway leading upward. Well, this door is clearly meant to keep something safe. If there ain't some kind of treasure behind it, me name ain't Kid. Yep, that's the smell of cold hard cash. All right, she muttered to herself as she began to inspect the door more closely. Let's check it out. I'm kind of in RPG mode, just checking every single room. Bah, what am I, stupid? Of course it's bloody locked. Kid had tried the door handle a few times before giving it a grumpy kick. Bloody door's got a magic barrier on it, and the bloody barrier's got a barrier of its own to boot. It'll take more than me putting the boot in to get through all that. You know what, I'm gonna take a break on the reading. This is definitely putting a strain on my vocal cords, particularly now that I'm a bit ill. I'll comment here and there though. So we can't enter the room. Let's just keep going down the hallway. I feel like the game keeps giving us a way back. Stairs up. Wow, really old FMB almost. Again, it just gives you like that feeling of like an old horror computer game. Reminds me of most of like the clock tower of a church. The staircase, that is. One more door. Something's very wrong here. I hear cursed whispers from beyond the door. I guess we're gonna have to go in then. Grow up, will ya? Well, it ain't locked and I don't hear anyone inside. Let's go in. This is probably where we die. What's this supposed to be? Something about this place gives me the creeps. There might be something here. Let's take a closer look. A closer look at a bloody empty room. Pah! Might as well, I guess. We did climb all them stairs. battles are coming. There's something written here. Someone's carved letters into the wall and scrambled them using bloody magic. I cannot hold out much longer. My only hope now is to leave the Acacian signet in this room. Okay, what is that? Okay. Gotta tone down the anxiety here, folks. Think happy thoughts, as they say. At least I've got my beer. Fight. Up there. Oh dear. Oh no. What do we do? Sure, let's go check the wall. Come on. Already at my forehead? Yarg! Kid sprang at the door like an arrow, slamming into his shoulder first. Wonderful. Charge that door. Well, that was wild. We were about to be eaten by spikes. Bugger me. Talk about a nasty surprise. Is it some sort of execution chamber? Oh, Mago. In any case, that writing mentioned Acacia. Yeah, what was that all about? The Acacia Dragoons, the elite knightly order serving General Viper, who once governed the territory of Galesburg to the west. Former knightly order, I should say. They were wiped out more than a decade ago by the lord of this very manor, no less. Thanks for the history lesson, Mag. Too bad we're not here for fairy tale nights. Come on, we've got a lot more exploring left to do. I don't know, that almost looks like we're actually walking backwards. Maybe it's the effects of the beer. Alright, and that's the last of that particle haze. For those of you just joining us, we're enjoying a particle haze, which is a gluten-free offering from Divine Science Brewing. Well, we can't go inside, or we can try again. For some reason I thought that it might have a change of heart, or maybe something changed. way we're going back up those stairs. This is the door where we met the old crone. Wait a second here. End game note. I guess this is the how you save. Let's continue down the corridor and back to the terrace. Okay, now we're on the left hand side of the manor. Three choices: down the stairs, forward, or on the side passage to the left. I feel like going to the side passage before I think continuing forward will be the last thing. Got another one of these. Let's go back in. Looks like a study. This is actually very similar to one of the rooms in Viper Manor, where I believe Gaspar, maybe not Gaspar, but one of the three magi was in. Curios from foreign lands. Let's check the bookshelves, I guess. To my health. What was this? So it's a different language, I suppose. Hey, what do you think this is? Huh? That right there's what happens when you put a cipher spell on something. Ain't gonna make it a bloody word with that in place. Too bad, huh? You probably don't want to know what's in there anyhow. These all look like pretty nasty spellbooks to me. Wouldn't be surprised if a whole lot of them were cursed. Which means you probably want to be pretty careful. Never know what might come flying out. Of course. Could this be? What you found, Mag? Anything familiar? An ancient grimoire known as the Book of the Dead. Who would have thought I would encounter it here? So the one from the Evil Dead series, I'm assuming. The Necronomicon. I feel like Magill knows what he's doing. I feel like he could read this and it'll be fine. Right. Right. Let's take a look. Could be interesting. The wheels of fate have been set in motion. Hold up, is the whole thing blank? Talk about a letdown. What do you say we fill it in with a few choice words of our own, boys? Where did she get a pen from? Lynx is a bloody bastard, and we'll be doing the world a favor when we finally get him. That's a rather tame message for a book. So, why not just like paint the entire room with that message as opposed to one single book? That'll do. You sure? I could go on. No, okay. No one's home. Or busy. I keep grabbing my mouse as if I was actually playing like a PC text adventure. Okay, so we're all hiding. Desk. You what? There's no time. I shoved Kid under the desk, then darted under it with her. Now that sounds, cozy. Kid's lips were right there. See, this is where I thought this was going. For a moment, everything else seemed to drift away. The pink bow of her mouth was so soft, so perfectly formed. Suddenly, my heart was beating so loud I thought my chest would burst. I tore my eyes away and squeezed them tightly shut. But it seemed that whoever it was didn't mean to come in. They simply stood there. Strange. I thought I heard something. But the Lord of the Manor is away, of course. Why would there be anyone in here? I have to get over my nerves. Everything was fine until we heard the news that Poor was on the move. Okay, so they're gone. Okay, guy. That's not something that you think out loud. Oi, Serge, you gonna move your... or what? This guy is lost. Sorry. Ow. Ooh, that stings. Not your most heroic. You alright? Yeah, I'll live. No sign of that dirtbag Lynx. Lucky for him. So Poor has made its move. And of course, Poor is one of the nations in the world of Chrono Trigger. In the continent south of the Kingdom of Guardia. For anyone that remembers that. Of course, in Chrono Trigger, it's like a tiny city. By the time we reach Chrono Cross, it's become like this, it sounds like it's become a giant nation. So Magil finally makes his presence known. Kid, if the rumors are true, we might as well be about to find ourselves in a very difficult situation. There we go. Everyone is after the frozen flame. was it just a pretty rock though? Let them do what they want. If everyone's busy playing soldiers, they won't be bothering us. Come on, we've got things to do. Okay, so we're back out. What time is it? 1:10. I think we're gonna take a quick break here, folks. And yeah, we're gonna find out our next drink. We will be right back. Let's hold it right here. Okay, and we are back. If you are just joining us, we are playing Radical Dreamers today. Uh, and this is the re-release that came out on the Switch not too long ago. This is not my first time playing Radical Dreamers. I did play it as a lad on a ROM before, but I never finished it, at least not that I remember. We're trying to get all of the endings eventually, but in this first pass, we're just trying to get through the game and see how much we can accomplish here. As I mentioned before the break, we are actually going for our second drink of the evening, and I can't hear my audio here. Well, I hope that's playing for somebody. Let me see what this says. So it does suggest that forecast it's playing. Okay, now it's playing. I think forecast takes a little bit to pick up, but it is such a wonderful song. So before I lose my voice again, we're having something from Boulevard Brewing, which we've had before. We do enjoy their quads. This one is something that I saw at the store today. What called out to me was just the fact that I've never had it before. This one is called Rye on Rye. Of course, I'm turning my hand incorrectly because I'm doing it as a mirror effect. This is a rye ale aged in rye whiskey barrels. So I don't have too much experience with rye beers. They are one of the major grains used in beers along with barley and wheat. I would say rye is probably number 3. Probably close. Number 3, rye and rice are kind of number 3, at least from my perspective of things that I've drank. I'm not a connoisseur of whiskey in general. I do like bourbon, but they say that's actually pretty common for people to like bourbon. I've never had rye whiskey, and I didn't know that you could make whiskey out of rye, but I think you can make whiskey out of a lot of grains from what I hear. So it's barrel aged, it's probably got good strength. Let's see what Untapped has to say on the matter. Let's go with this one. So 12.2 ABV. This brawny, tanny ale is a savory celebration of spicy rye malt and rye whiskey, compliments of extended aging in freshly emptied rye barrels. Rye on Rye pours a deep amber and evokes notes of charred oak and vanilla, with a finish that's delightfully boozy and sweet. Well, yeah, and then it just shows a list of ingredients, I guess. So let's go ahead and pour this guy, see what we think about it. Again, I'm not the strongest connoisseur of rye anything, but maybe now is the right time. It is too late in the night and I am a little too tipsy. So it pours brown, amber brown. It has very little head. It almost looks like a soda if you need a comparison. Yeah, so no head at all really, and it is translucent. Definitely aged in barrels. It's got that aroma of something heavy, sweet heavy, almost woody. Faggot ale. So very sweet. Has good malt taste. I'm trying to. So it's actually similar to the bourbon barrels things, but it's a little different. You can definitely taste a little bit more of the wood with this one. And maybe I do notice some of that vanilla. And it's not like vanilla ice cream. It's more like if you've ever done any baking and you take like vanilla extract. And of course you don't want to taste that, but if you were to taste it, it's kind of what that might taste like. It's like a almost like a savory sweet type of flavor. That's actually quite interesting. I have to say that I enjoy this a lot, and not just because I do enjoy my boozy beers, because I do enjoy my boozy beers, but I might just like this rye barrel aged method more than the bourbon barrel aged method. I'm gonna think about this. I'm going to go on a slight intermission here so I can compose. But we will be right back, folks. I just need to write my Untapped, and then we'll be back on Radical Dreamers. Alright, then let's get back into it. So we just went to the library of Viper Manor. I forget if this is still called Viper Manor, but Lynx's lair. Um, we had a encounter with somebody at the door, informed us that poor soldiers were on the move. And so I think we're back to the place where we can either go down, we can go back to the terrace, or we can keep going down the corridor. I think we're gonna go down the stairs. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit concerned. Let's go down the stairs. I really don't like how these stairs animate. They're so claustrophobic. Maybe let's go to the plaza. Sure. Huh? It's a big in here. Must be some kind of hall. What is this thing? I don't like the red coloring on this place. Ooh, that's cold. You reckon those fish are rare? As invaluable? You want to steal the fish? Whoa. Okay. Fish fight. Pteranodons. Bloody hell. Are these land pteranodons? Is that what we're concerned about? Okay, so we're in a water trap. Water levels rising. Let's keep moving. Oh, great. Serge, we gotta do something before we get turned into mincemeat. Let's take on this fish. What? You want to try and pick a fight with this little one by one? I didn't know that how big they were. No. I guess we're going back. How many hits am I taking in this thing? Ah, what a nightmare. So that whole thing was a trap, eh? Talk about twisted. Lynx is even more of a sick bastard than I thought. Well, at any rate, I think we can consider that a dead end. Let's go back. Okay, so but it sounds like there was a door up ahead past the Pteranodon, so we just couldn't actually make it. Oh well. I guess it's something to remember. Of course, since we play these games every other week, we're not going to remember actually. That is, just a second here, folks. Hello, hello, what do we have here? That's not creepy at all. It's a mouth of truth. That's not good. So it's like a lie detector, except if you lie, instead of shocking you, or instead of detecting your heart rate, it will actually chomp down on your hand, which doesn't seem like a good way to catch lies, in my opinion at least. And why did I just think that a lie detector shocks you when you tell a lie? Now that would be amusing. No, it wouldn't. Hey kid, who's the greatest thief who ever lived? Ha! Me, of course, you drong. Kid answered without a moment's hesitation, and then suddenly her face twisted with pain. Oh, jeez. Did she just lose her hand? It bit me! Knock it off. Everyone knows it's the truth. Ow! Yeah, why are we having a nice joke about this? She's probably going to lose her hand. It won't let go until you say something true. Keep us grounded, Magel. Just say anything, kid, anything, as long as it's the truth. Oi, Beardy, let go of me bloody hand. I wouldn't pull that hard on something that's grabbing my hand like a mouth. Unless it was a lion, then I would pull hard. But I know that I had lost my hand. What? So the head is not infallible. See, told you it was the truth. Kid raised her hand in the air triumphantly as if to demonstrate I could see heavy bite marks. That sounds unpleasant. Okay, so I guess she almost broke this face too. A pale flesh-colored tongue. I expect we're supposed to put something there. Something? What exactly? How many things does she carry with her? Alright, Serge, now it's your turn to have a go at that stupid statue. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Nice, kid. Real nice. What should we put in there? Okay, well, that's a lot of things. What's a petard? Let's go with the scroll. It seems fairly neutral. Guess that didn't work. With a sheepish chuckle, I pulled it out again. Sounds like I'm reading an adult novel. Oops, my hand slipped and the scroll unfurled. It's a decoding chart used for the Imperial Guard's field reports. Huh, well, it's all gibberish to me. Wouldn't be much of a code if it wasn't, would it? You'll, have to walk me through it sometime. So you can't read it either. Boy, I can pick my moments. Fine, if you're not gonna take this seriously, we're leaving you behind. I'd really done it now. She made me to leave, but I grabbed her gently by the shoulder. Look, I'm not messing around. I'm sure this next idea is going to work. I'll believe it when I bloody well see it. You know, I thought that was a good initial choice. Let's go with dried grapes. Maybe put some food in the on the tongue. Maybe that makes a bit more sense here. Let's see. That's enough, Serge. Wow. That's enough, Serge. Those are my emergency rations. Okay, so I gained some health back. Is that what happened? They're not for you either, sunshine. You gotta take this seriously, Serge. Or should I leave you alone with Beardy here? Okay, so that didn't take. I honestly don't know. I'm potentially just guessing here. Let's go with a centipede for Gruo's Factor X. Oh, that is just... What are you doing walking around with a centipede in your pockets? This isn't your pet or something, is it? So the centipede has been in this adventure this entire time. Don't be thick, Serge. It's a toy, not a pet. A toy? You could have picked something nicer, so we're back in the adult novel. It is nice. Nice for giving people nasty surprises. Haha. Well, that's, yeah, that is reasonable. Serge, you'll pay for this. What am I supposed to... I'm just... Is there some clue that I failed to see that tells me, hey, you should have put the piece of lipstick in there or something? It was licking my hand. Ugh, I'm gonna puke. Keep it together, Serge. Do it for the centipede. Where am I at? I am starting to fade, folks. So if I start taking long, send me a message. Bear with me. I'm gonna say we're gonna go maybe for another 20 minutes or so. You must really love this thing. Ah, not really. I just hate to see stuff go to waste. I'm sorry, what? Why had I even bothered? Well, no luck there either. Wanna try something else? Well, it seems like this is a game, isn't it? Okay. What would a giant partially destroyed statue want? Let's go with the thread. Watch yourself, that stuff ain't cheap. It's made by royal silkworms, I'll have you know. The thread slipped deeper and deeper into the mouth of truth. And then I felt a slight tug. I tried winding it carefully back around my finger. At the end of it was a small piece of paper. So it's actually eating it. Nice one, Serge. That's gotta be a clue. Okay, so this was the correct one. The note says try again. What is happening here? What am I doing wrong? You licky tricky piece of I'm guessing that wasn't the one then. What next? What's a petard? I think I've asked this before. Let's Google this while we still have consciousness on our side. It's a petard. A small bomb made of metal or wooden box filled with powder used to blast down a door to make a hole in the wall. So I'm assuming that if I use that, it'll blow up the face. Maybe I will try that last. I don't want the thing to blow up before I try everything. A small silver mirror, the one thing that looks mystical. Don't see any cavities. Yeah, very funny. Now give me favorite mirror back before that thing chomps it to pieces. So something that she uses to fix herself up, I guess. Do you want to try something else? I chose. Okay, so we're back to this. That petard is looking more enticing with every time. Let's go with everything we haven't tried. A file. Crunch, crunch, crunch. What is this like an actual thing or is this a statue? It seems sentient for some reason. Me file, me lovely scratchy scrappy file. I can't believe you just let that happen. You're in big trouble. This is not getting me points at kid. Sorry, I'll get you another one, I promise. I'll hold you to that. If you're just gonna feed the statue all me stuff, we're done here. I promise that's not what I'm trying to do. It better bloody not be, mate. There's essentially only one thing that's missing here. It's either the lipstick or the petard. But let's just go with the petard and get this done with. I'll regret this anyway, so. Anxiously, I shoved it inside the mouth of truth. But nothing happened. Let the professionals handle this search. Wait a second, you can't be serious. Deadly serious, mate. Get the mouth open some more, is that one? Okay, so now it's more destroyed than before. Not enough quite oomph to knock its block off, eh? Should've brought a bigger one. What do you think you're doing? I can't believe you just set that thing off like that. What do you mean? What else are you gonna do with a bomb? Well, any more ideas, Serge? I chose. The lipstick is the only thing that's left. I picked up the small lacquer tube of lipstick. Okay, so now we are painting the statue's mouth. What are you, me lippy? You don't even wear makeup. It's for marking me our path, to make sure we don't get lost. I went buccaneer there for a second. I didn't realize. Guess that would explain why you brought it with you. Funny that that's not the first thing you thought. And what exactly is that supposed to mean? What's so funny about me having lipstick anyhow? Nothing at all. You'd better buy me some more when we're done here. Yep, she was mad alright. Let's just try something else. Well, I think we've tried everything. I think we're done here, folks. I lingered for a moment but pulled my hand away. Didn't seem like any of them was what we were looking for. Alright, let's just forget about it for now. Alright, I think this is where we call it, folks. And so we can continue to the path ahead, go down the trap room with the face. This is unsettling music. Let's go down the path ahead before we go to the stairs. Flowers, was it something from inside? Okay. Oh, I think that's enough of that. See if I can save right here. I guess let's make use of our multiple files. Well, that was a bit creepy, I think. Don't like the. It's kind of funny that we had all of these options, and yet not one of them did anything. Anyways, let's wrap this up. And let's go to clarity. Well, folks, that was our first go at Radical Dreamers. We've made a number of wrong choices, and if you know anything about this game, is that even though it's a text adventure, you do keep an HP meter running. So I think I've taken a lot of hits. I'm sure that my run is not long before the go, but at least we are learning what we're supposed to be doing. That's a positive, maybe. I don't know. At least we've got beer. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed yourself. There were certain moments in that game where I was really on edge. Very interested to see at least what the ending of this run. Now I'm starting to wonder whether I should pursue all of the endings, or if maybe I just need to go through this once and maybe go find something else. Maybe I'll watch a video with all the endings or something like that. I'm still thinking about it. Maybe I'll talk about it some more next time I play this. But I am at the very least interested in reaching the end. Beautiful game though, beautiful game. So this is it for me streaming this week. If you would like to catch me again, I will be on next Thursday night, where I will be going back to the world of Hades, trying to escape, that is. And Friday I will probably be playing Super Metroid once again. There's a fair chance that I will be doing a Friday afternoon stream on Taproom Tales with John. That one is never really a sure thing, but it is always fun when it happens. But yeah, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. And I hope you've enjoyed at least some of this ridiculous banter. But with that, as I like to say, and I'm trying to find my scene. As I like to say, stay thirsty, Wolfkin. I will see you again.